Well, good morning, BCOT247 students. This is Mr. Doucette, and we are in week 8 of our 16-week class here at Cerritos College on business communications. And I am going to be doing, once again, just a short video explaining this week's assignments, especially as we are now moving into the writing assignment portion of our class. And we'll be doing about 6 writing assignments. Last week, you did your first one, which was a little different because it was an instant message, a blog, and a tweet. And so I'll be grading those over the next few days. But this week we actually get into actually creating a document. And I want to remind you to make sure that you create all of your documents on a Word doc or a separate page. Don't use the text box feature in Canvas because it will not allow you to show me your margins. It won't allow you to do any of the design elements to improve your readability. So make sure you create all of your writing assignments on a separate document and that you upload that document. But I'll go ahead and explain that to you here. First off, let me share my screen. And here we are. I'm just recovering from some surgery I had on my shoulder, so I was unable to look a little more presentable. But nonetheless, as you can see in the background, here's our course. And I'm going to come down here to module number 2 because that's where we're at. This will last until April 16th in this particular semester. But if this is a different semester you're watching the class, it might be a different date. But anyway, so we're in module number 2. We're in week number 8. And last week, again, we looked at what's called digital channels. I showed you guys a little bit how to do an instant message, a blog, and a tweet. And blogs are very important. The main thing there is that you included a catchy title on your blog, that you use some kind of graphic or photograph, because that's always what blogs do. Their goal is to grab your attention. And they're also very brief, and they also use many design elements to improve your readability. First and foremost, short, simple paragraphs. They chunk information, so every paragraph's its own little topic with information. We didn't get a chance to cover that too much in this class yet, but chunking is very important. That's very common in writing for digital channels in this day and age, and especially when it comes to blogs and tweets and things like that. Everything needs to be very concise and very much to the point. Also, you should have used design elements to improve the readability. What I mean by that is bold text, headings, bullet lists, things like that, that really help people to be able to scan and read your document a lot easier than just a paragraph of text. So that's what we did last week as we move into week number 8. Now we're going to, once again, you have a check-in assignment. We're covering chapter 6, which is routine positive messages. So it's just kind of everyday messages that you might experience in a work environment. We're going to be covering the PowerPoint on that, so make sure you read that. You do your check-in assignment on that, which is asking you some questions out of chapter 6. And then we're going to get into homework number 8 here. This is elements of a memo. And this is where you're going to be taught how to format a memo. And there is a teaching demo right here above that, memo explanation, where I did do a teaching on this topic. It's just the PowerPoint, however. So as last week, I believe I was going to do a Zoom session. Let me check real quick because there may be a Zoom session scheduled this week so that we will go over business writing as well as how to format a memo. And so if that's the case, I will post that. If you're able to view it online and join me in Zoom, that would be great. Let me see here. This week is... Yeah, so I don't have a Zoom session scheduled. I don't think I scheduled any this semester, but I have a recorded Zoom session, but I might do one for another class I'm teaching, which is at Norco College. So I might just post the video for that. But if I do post the video, I will put it in this week's module. I'll come right down to module 8 or week 8, module 2, and I'll list it right here next to it. Actually, I do have a Zoom session right here on how to format a memo. So it's right there already. Sorry. So just watch that and then make sure you do the elements of a memo assignment. All I'm looking for here is for you to identify the different parts of a memo. So the title block, the signature block, which there is no signature block on a memo, just the initials of the author, that your title block looks like a memo. So make sure you look at the sample in your book. There's an appendix in the back. I think it's appendix A or B, and it has a sample memo. There's also some examples throughout your textbook. Make sure it looks like that. And that's the key when it comes to formatting it. And then you have your very first writing assignment, which is going to be, well, actually, it's your second writing assignment, but this is your first actual document. And it is a it's a memo on floating holidays that you're offering your employees the option to utilize 5 or 6 floating holidays for however they desire to use them. And so you're communicating this message through a memo to all of your internal employees, letting them know that they have a choice of now selecting floating holidays. And so you're going to explain that in the memo. You're going to make your memo look like a memo. You're going to use design elements to improve the readability. This document is a perfect document to use headings for different groups of people that you might be addressing, or different features that are offered in the floating holidays. So utilize all those design elements to improve your readability of your document, and make sure it's formatted like a memo. And of course, make sure that there's proper grammar and sentence structure, etc., being used. So that's pretty much it. So again, you have your check-in assignment. You have a quiz for chapter 6. I didn't mention that. You have your homework on elements of a memo. And again, if you can, by the way, on that assignment, I should have pointed this out, is I'd really like you to download these documents that are here. But basically, all I'm asking you to do is tell me, what does this arrow mean over here on the left? What is this arrow pointing to here? What is this arrow pointing to here, etc.? And that's pretty much already showing you how a memo is formatted. And then I have a second part of the assignment where you're going to find everything wrong with this second memo, and you're just going to list them below. And that is your homework assignment. So you should be able to download both of those documents here and here. So if you download it, you should be able to create a text box and type right on the page, or you can print it out and write the answers on the page and then take a picture and upload the picture, however you want to do it. But that's the homework. And then lastly, you're going to be writing the memo, and that's the writing assignment. And all of this is going to be due on this Sunday night coming up. And make sure you upload it all, and then I'll begin grading it. I always try and grade as the week goes on, but usually the writing assignments, I tend to wait till the end. And then I'll go through and I'll grade 10 or 15 a day until I get them all graded over the course of the week. And then make sure that when I do grade your memos, that you go back, or any other writing assignment, and read my comments, because sometimes I'm giving you clear instruction on how to improve. And if you read that and then you apply it to your next writing assignment, you're bound to get a better grade, and it's going to make my grading a lot easier as well. So that's it for this week. All have a great week. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.